Alrighty. Well, today we're exploring affiliate marketing, one of the most common entry points in online business and one of the most misunderstood. Affiliate marketing is often positioned as simple, passive, and low risk. In reality, it's a specific business model with very real trade offs around dependency, visibility, trust, and long term control. In this conversation, we're not here to promote a platform or sell a promise. We're here to understand fit. The questions you're about to hear are the same ones I'll use across a number of stages in different models. That's intentional. The value isn't in new tactics, it's in how the answers change with time, context, and responsibility. My guest today represents affiliate marketing after the initial learning curve, someone who has real experience inside the model and has made deliberate choices about how he operates, builds trust, and his unique blend of doing business in this model. This isn't about context. This is about context, not tactics. So let's begin. Welcome, Clayton. Would you like to introduce yourself to start?
Yeah, my name's Clayton Dozier. I've been doing affiliate marketing now for probably a few months, pretty focused, and I'm pretty excited to be here. Thanks, Kim.
No problem. So, to ground us, how do you define affiliate marketing in practice? What does it actually look like day to day when someone's running it as a real business?
Gotcha. Yeah, so, I guess to go back to the definitions, the way I think of affiliate marketing, the best way I thought to explain it is someone has a thing they want to sell, and instead of paying for ads or doing a bunch of stuff to drive traffic to it themselves, what they do is they have somebody else who specializes in driving traffic send traffic to their offer and then they give them a percentage. A great example that I think most people understand is if you ever watch a YouTube video and they're talking about a thing like, hey, this awesome mouse. And they talk about the mouse and they tell you there's a link in the description if you want to get the mouse. Usually, when you click that link, it takes you to a place where you can buy the mouse and they generally get a commission, a piece of what the purchase price of the mouse is. So that's the simplest way I can think of breaking down affiliate marketing. And as far as what it looks like day to day for me, I built my entire affiliate marketing business around my online community. So I do community building basically all day, every day, as much time as I can cram in.
That's amazing. All right. So, why did you choose affiliate marketing as a pathway? What problem did it solve for you at the time?
Yeah, so the reason I got into affiliate marketing is I always wanted to be a coach or have my own course, and I could never really figure out what it was that I had to offer that I also wanted to offer. There were things I had I saw were valuable, but there were either career things I was wanting to move away from or things I just knew I wasn't super interested in, I probably wouldn't stick with. And all the things I was interested in, I wanted to pursue further, always seemed a little bit out of reach, that I wasn't really in a place where I felt like I could honestly step into and be a coach for someone and or create a course around. And after beating my head against that rock for a few years, what I realized is that I could be an affiliate and I could find and offer a program or a product that somebody already had that would serve people I wanted to serve, and I could promote that offer.
Great. So, in real life terms, what season does affiliate marketing tend to suit best? For example, people in career transitions, wanting to rebuild income, have limited life skills, or they're in a skill building phase.
I would say D, all of the above. I think that for each one of those people, there is a place and there is a timing. From my own experience, I'm more into like a transition from the career I'm in now. I've been a massage therapist for a little over 10 years. It's taken its toll on me physically, and I'm at a point where I'm more or less at the end. And so I'm transitioning away from that. So I'm in the career change phase. I definitely see people who are not, I wouldn't say skilled, but maybe pursuing a different skill set, doing very well with affiliate marketing because it allows you to learn a new skill set and you can share what you're learning as you're doing it. That's a super great way to do affiliate marketing, is this sort of, hey, come along with me kind of approach. And in fact, it's one of the best.
Hmm.
So I would say all the above really work. One common group I've seen lately are people in their, I would say, mid late 50s, maybe even early 60s, who are looking at retirement and they're not quite prepared. And they've worked where they may not have a bunch of technical skills to move over and make some, typical, I guess, online business type of a setup. But they also aren't at a point where they want to keep working, physically, doing the things that they're doing. They're really spending a lot of time trying to figure out, hey, how do I make an online business work, not knowing anything about online business, and they're hopping into affiliate marketing, and that's really common right now.
Yeah, great. Okay, so who doesn't it work well for, and who should be cautious about choosing this particular pathway?
That's a great question. I think a person who should be cautious, and this pops to mind because I talked to somebody about this the other day, is if you already have your own business, you can add affiliate marketing incredibly well. And use them together. But if it distracts you from what you're doing already, it's already successful, I'd say stay away from it. Anything that's going to distract you from what's already working, stay away. If you're somebody who's not going to be willing and capable of coming in and being comfortable, being uncomfortable, I would say that's a big hurdle you need to get over before business in general. Some people are really stubborn about that and want to stay stuck in a job mentality. So if you haven't I shouldn't say if you haven't settled those things yet, but if you're not willing to face those things and really dig into them and find out why they're there and what to do about them, I would say probably not so much to stay away from affiliate marketing, but to face those things first and then come into affiliate marketing, maybe do them in tandem. So I would say just be aware because there are a lot of people out there that are used to going and punching the time clock and getting a paycheck, every
Mm.
week, 2 weeks, every month. And it can be hard for them to realize that you have to go out and hunt. And there's definitely a lot of hunting in affiliate marketing, especially in the beginning, where you're out there, you gotta earn your keep in a different kind of way. So just I would say less people that shouldn't do it, and more people who should be aware of what they're getting themselves into. And if they can't handle that, then it's probably not for them.
Fair call, fair call. Okay, so what does affiliate marketing actually demand over time in terms of content creation, visibility, consistency, learning, financial investment?
Oh, good question. So there's a lot there. I would say right away, it depends on how you approach it. For me, um, I would say you can start affiliate marketing with very, very little money. That's one of the cool things about it. You don't really need technically any money to get started. I would recommend if you haven't done any kind of traffic drive, if you don't know how to drive traffic, you don't know much about marketing, definitely go out and spend some money learning from somebody who knows how. Even general marketing, affiliate marketing specific, because it's just going to save you so much time. When I first started, I already knew more than a lot of people about marketing, and I still beat my head against it for a little while until I went and I paid somebody who actually taught me specifically more about affiliate marketing. So that can cost anywhere from a few $100s to a few $1,000s, depending. And then there's different tools you can use, and different routes you can go. So for me, my first plan was I was going to start a YouTube channel. I was going to use, email software. I was going to build an email list, do all this stuff, and you know, email list software, the good stuff can cost you anywhere from not a whole lot of money to a few $100s a month. And I can dig into the wallet real quick. Now, for me, what I did is I pivoted pretty fast because I found myself feeling a little bit like I still needed to be more of an expert than I needed to be. Feeling like maybe I didn't have the authority I wanted to have to create content around something. And instead, I started building a community instead. And again, depending on where you build that at, it can be anywhere from free if you're on Facebook, or $9 to $99 a month on just a platform like School, for example, which is where I'm at. And and then time and content. I mean, it depends. Like, are you going to build through Instagram? Are you going to build through YouTube? There's so many different ways to come about it. For me, building a community, I post about once a day, and it's a super light post. I usually don't go hardcore on my posts because I don't want them to be, because people don't want. I don't think a lot of times they really dig into something huge in a community. They want something they can interact with that's going to prompt them to actually be a part of a conversation. The really good thing about content in a community is it creates conversation that people can be involved in rather than being a thing you consume. So, like I said, it's going to be a spectrum of you. Maybe you spend a few hours a week making content for YouTube in the beginning. Maybe you spend a little less time and make some content on a community platform. It depends on how you're going to do it, how much time it's going to take, how much you're going to spend, etc.
Yeah. Okay, great. Excuse me. Affiliate marketing, well, the marketers themselves don't own the product, as you mentioned earlier, or a platform if they're doing platform work. How do you think people think about the dependency and control and risk in this kind of model?
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't think about it at all. I don't think they realize that it's there. And I think when people do realize it, it's a recognized trade-off. Everything in life has a trade-off. So if I want to market your product, I have to follow your rules. And for someone like me who doesn't like having a boss and doesn't likes to live by their own rules, sometimes that is a little bit of a rub. But at the end of the day, most everybody I've been an affiliate for, they're pretty relaxed about how you go about things as long as you follow a few basic rules where you're making sure you're respecting their brand and you're not pretending to be them is a big one.
Right.
That's a big no. It's like I can't go out and say, "Hey, I am this company." But more or less, as long as you're doing right by them, it's not really a big deal. And I don't think it's a big rub for most people, but I can see how it could be for some people, especially once you start going in, you're filling out different agreements and contracts and stuff, and it hits you like, oh wait, like I'm actually signing this agreement that's legally binding with some people who have more attorneys than I have. It's an interesting feeling. uh, and then of course there's different platforms and stuff you can use now too that are available that kind of take a lot of that away and make it a little bit lighter and definitely make streamlining payment a lot easier. Because if you have a bunch of different offers all over the place, keeping track of payment can be a pain in the butt. But there are some platforms now that make that a little bit easier too.
Yeah. Excellent. What are the most common mistakes or hidden costs that you see when people are entering in this on at the beginning?
Yeah, I'd say there are a couple of big mistakes, and one you kind of touched on earlier, and I've missed in the answers. I would say consistency is the big one. Like you have to show up and you have to do it on a regular basis, because if not, you're not going to go anywhere. Like everything, it takes momentum. It's going to take some time of trying to push a rock up a hill that doesn't feel like it's moving. And that's just physics. That's the reality of doing anything new. So a lot of people come in and they dabble, they put their toe in, they take it out, and they dance around, they come back, and you can't do that. Even if you decide to pivot at some point, and I've had some pivots along the way already, but it's you still have to come in, you still have to be consistent, you have to show up and let that all unfold. And in with that, the reason I think that happens very often is people are afraid of making mistakes. And this is something a mistake I've made a lot is being afraid of making mistakes. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned is just make a mess. Go out there and just be willing to mess it up and let it look like crap. And it's going to look like crap. And that's perfectly fine because that's how you get good at something is you suck at it first and then you get better.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'd say start messy. And I think that there's a decent percentage of people in affiliate marketing that are like me who are really very much interested in becoming coaches and course creators and don't feel like they're there yet. And that feeling of being an imposter is still very much real, I think, for a lot of people in the affiliate space. And it's something I still sometimes will wrestle with, even though I'm not marketing my own product most of the time. And I think that holds a lot of people back, just being aware and reminding yourself that, you don't actually need to be an expert to be an affiliate marketer. That's kind of the point. You
Mm,
can be, there are people who are, but sometimes what people want to see is that there's someone one step ahead of them, and that feels more comfortable, especially for a beginner to follow somebody like that than trying to follow somebody who's a mile ahead of them, because it's more believable. And so you have a degree of leverage that you have in that situation. So if you lean into the fact that you're not an expert, if you lean into the fact that you're figuring it out too, a lot of times that's going to actually be the thing that moves the needle the most. And again, like you can in that spot also make mistakes. If you're some eight-figure earner and you make some goof, it hurts a lot more than if, a guy named Clayton that most people have never heard of, says something wrong and messes something up. Like who cares? It's not the end of the world.
exactly right. And I love that, you started this conversation with um, a, comment around exactly this, come with me and learn with me as I go through it, being one of the most efficient ways to get started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think for most people, it's probably the best because, and let's face it, if you're already in a position where you can lead with tons of authority in something, and you're not going through it yourself, like you're probably just going to do some other offer where you're making, you're not getting a commission, you're getting all of it, or you're using, or you have your own offers that you have, and then you use affiliate marketing to maybe fill some gaps or to make some, more money in there somewhere. Like, hey, I do this thing for people, but I know of this offer that helps solve this problem too, and I can be an affiliate that way. If you're coming in with that level of authority, you're just going to do that. Or if you're most people starting out in affiliate and you're not there yet, like, I mean, just be where you're at. Like, it's okay to be where you're at.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Okay, for someone who feels like affiliate marketing might be a good fit for their life right now, what's the sane first steps to explore it properly? And I guess where can they learn in a supported environment rather than going in blind?
Yeah, so I would say it kind of depends on the person, but I would say a good place to start is to find out what you are interested in and what problem you have that you want to help solve. And then go from there and find whatever the least resistant path you have to achieving that would be the way to go. Because I think we feel sometimes like I saw this person do it this way, so I need to do it that way.
Mm,
But the reality is if you say, "Hey, I want to have, a YouTube channel," but you get in front of a camera and you can't even say a word, and there's tons of resistance, and you end up not even be able to get that far, but maybe you can write something and it's cool. I would say, hey, go back, go do what is the least resistance for you. And outside of that, I would say go and find a place where you can be around other people heading in the same direction as you and where you can get some guidance. That's actually something I do. I have my own school community. It's called Affiliate Freedom Collective, and we learn and we grow together. That's what it's for. It's a bunch of people who are wanting to get away from the 9 to 5, who want to build more freedom in their lives, and we're doing it together.
excellent. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today, Clayton. What this conversation makes clear is that early stage effort, uncertainty, and learning are not signs that something's wrong. They're part of what entry actually looks like. But there's a deeper pattern running through everything we've explored so far, and I suspect it's going to come up again and again. Um, Across all the models we've looked at so far, one thing is reappearing constantly, and it's not tactics, it's actually stabilizing, and that's trust and belonging and a place to learn without performing. And you've provided a nice container for that for affiliates. So thank you. In our next conversation, we'll be looking more at the mechanics and the container, like community platforms, um, and looking at it from not an audience growth strategy, but more as an infrastructure that can hold people through change, learning, and growth. So that's where we're headed next. This interview series has been fun. So thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.